For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith. Through observation, it seems like most sitcoms follow a specific formula. This is especially true for sitcoms before the year 2000. In the 20th century, almost every sitcom had characters that fit into a certain archetype. There's the womanizer, or in this case the manizer. Regine from Living Single falls into this category. Characters like Hilary Banks fall into the materialistic archetype. Darius from Atlanta is the one who's in his own universe, and the character who marches to the beat of his own drum. Jeffrey the butler is the sarcastic asshole, and of course, there's the dumb sitcom character.
For once, I'm not the dumbest guy in the room.
Yes, you are.
You just proved me right, because it's yes, you is.
The dumb sitcom character has been around since the beginning of the sitcom. Usually the character is the best friend or sidekick, rarely the lead. The dumb character is never the sharpest knife in the drawer, but is always the comedic relief.
How'd they find me so fast?
Because there's only one Waldo.
That's true. No, there's another Waldo, but people can't seem to find him.
Whether it's a one-liner or a confused look, the dumb character brings instant laughs just by being them. Now, dumb characters have a trait of being childish. They're amazed by the simple things in life. Childlike innocence is one of the most important characteristics of the dumb one. The dumb TV character is usually the most likable one due to their sweet, good-natured, and naive outlook. The dumb character never has common sense, which means they could have been sheltered and protected from the real world. An example of this would be Hilary Banks once again. The dumb TV character never grows up and is usually paired with someone who can bring out those dumb qualities. Look at Kenan and Kel as an example. Kenan is the one with common sense who represents the audience. His reactions to Kel's stupidity and mess-ups bring us back into reality and show us just how insane and silly the dumb one can be. We got together and wrote down some dumb TV characters who embody some of the same characteristics I just listed out. Childlike, likable, naive, and oblivious. Here are some of TV's dumb characters. In My Wife and Kids, George O'Gore II played the oldest child of Michael Kyle Jr., or known as simply Junior. At first, Junior was the typical underachieving high school student, but he grew dumber and dumber as the show went on. Despite Junior being the oldest child, his naivety is what made him seem like he was the youngest.
Do another one.
What is the capital of South Dakota?
South Dakota City.
In the later seasons, Junior's lack of intelligence became a running joke from everyone in the family. Whenever he said something dumb, he got slapped in the back of the head. Junior Kyle was always on the receiving end when it came to insults from his own family. An example of Junior's dim-wittedness comes in the episode Junior Kyle, Boy Genius, where he gets a perfect score on the SATs. It's later discovered that his school got his test scores mixed up and Junior's actual score was 200, despite the fact that you get 300 points just for writing your name correctly. He spelled Junior with a Y. Now, Junior wasn't the only character in My Wife and Kids that got dumber over time. Junior's sister, Claire Kyle, was played by Jennifer Nicole Freeman. She replaced Jazz Ray Cole after the first season. Claire was another character that drew laughs from her lack of intelligence.
Oh, well, it looks gross. Let's cook it. What do I do?
Well, first you have to clean it.
Okay, I'll put it in the dishwasher. Light cycle, right?
Claire was one of the clumsiest characters on the show. Falling down the stairs and tripping over things was a recurring joke for her. By the end of the show, she wasn't that much smarter than her brother. Next up, we've got Kim Coles as Sinclair James on Living Single. Sinclair was Khadijah's cousin and receptionist at Flavor, where Khadijah was the head publisher and editor. Sinclair lived with her cousin and Regine. Sinclair is often described as naive, childlike, and being the most optimistic, all of which describe the dumb character stereotype. Sinclair later married Overton Wakefield Jones, who shared a similar personality, which is why the two may have clicked so easily. Simple is the word that was used by the cast to describe Overton, but despite this, Overton and Sinclair would sometimes be the voice of reason in the show because they were so positive. Next on our list is Waldo Geraldo Faldo, played by Sean Harrison. Waldo was Eddie's best friend playing into the sidekick trope. While Urkel was the nerd who often made a bad situation worse, Waldo was the idiot that annoyed everyone around him.
Is the coast clear?
Well, there was some early morning fog, but it looks like it's clear now.
Now, like Urkel, the character of Waldo was only scheduled to appear in one episode, but eventually became a part of the main cast. Waldo was originally intended as the sidekick to Urkel's bully, played by Lorenz Tate, but producers matched him with Eddie after Lorenz left. Kel Kimball makes our list as another sidekick who's just as clumsy as he is stupid. Best friends with Keenan Rockmore, Kel was always the unwanted guest in the Rockmore house. It seems like Keenan's parents couldn't stand Kel, who was the source of destruction. Even though Keenan was the one to come up with the crazy schemes and adventures, Kel usually caused more problems than he solved. Despite his clumsy and destructive nature, Kel always meant well, and any damage he caused was usually unintentional.
I suggest you start with a poo-poo platter.
I don't want any poo-poo.
Finally, Kim Parker was portrayed by Countess Vaughn, first on Moesha, then she eventually got her own show, The Parkers, where Monique played her mother. The Parkers followed mother and daughter Kim and Nikki attending college together, but Kim never had the best grades.
Here, look at my grades.
Damn. Hey, yo, look, Kim, I'm a tutor, not a magician.
Countess Vaughn won an NAACP Image Award for her portrayal as Kim Parker for Moesha in 1998. She received 2 more nominations in 1999 and 2000. Like others on our list, Kim's stupidity was a running joke in the show. Many of her friends, classmates, and professors wondered how she was even able to make it to college in the first place. Historically, the dumb one being a source of comedy comes from court jesters and fools back in the medieval era. They were first referred to as fools, buffoons, or clowns. The term jester wasn't used until about the 16th century. Most jesters would mock current events, religion, and the hypocrisy of authority figures. They were the original truth tellers. Basically, they were pretty much the blueprint for the comedians we have today. Now there are 2 kinds of fools. First, we have licensed fools, who are smart, quick-witted, and talented at many things like storytelling and singing. Then, there were natural fools, who usually suffered from developmental issues, and the kings and queens who were their employers sadly found this amusing and a good source of entertainment. The dumb sitcom character has become a staple in comedy shows and movies since the beginning of entertainment. Whether it's Cole Brown from Martin or Juicy from the PJs, this archetype has always provided consistent laughs, and whenever they show up on screen, you know they're gonna say something ridiculous, but funny.
Yeah, you made the dean's list all right. You're on academic probation, Kim. Oh, I'm an academic pro.
Stay up to date with the latest news and comedy by subscribing here to our YouTube channel, and follow Comedy Hype across all social media. For Comedy Hype News, I'm Dom Smith.